Hey guys, I'm Lisa Tedder with Tedder Bear Stamping. I am a demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I live in North Carolina. If you are in need of a demonstrator, I would love to be your girl. So anytime you purchase from me, any amount after $35, I will send you a PDF full of 16 projects with pictures and step-by-step instructions. So I hope that you take me up on that. And I also have a blog that is tedderbearstamping.com. And every video that I do, I try to put it out there so that you can see pictures that are close up and get more on the dimensions if you miss them on the video. So hang in here and let's do this together. All right, thanks. Okay, so let's get started. We are going to use a piece of 4 1/4 by 8 3/4 of garden green, and we're going to score it at 3 1/4. So let me bring in my cutter. This time it's a scorer, and make sure that I use my score one and score that. Okay, so then this will be our base of the card, and I am going to put some layers together. First off, we have a piece of silver that is 4 by 3, and then we have progressively smaller DSP, and this is from the Poinsettia, and that is 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then we have the garden green, which is between those, which is 3 7/8 by 2 7/8. So these are going to go like this. And I don't have my adhesive, so hold on, I'm going to go get that real quick. Okay, so I'm going to put these two together, but first off, nope, that's right, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I'm going to put these two together. Oh, it might help if I had the lid off. And you could cut the center out of it, but it's not that big of a piece, so I'm just going to leave it. Alright, so now for this part I am going to wait just a minute, or not a minute, but a few minutes, because I am going to work on something else, and I need to put a magnet on here so that when I go to close my card that they help close it. So I am going to now come in with a piece of garden green again that's 1 1/4 by 5. And I'm going to score that at 1/2 inch. Make sure, because I've already cut a piece when I was supposed to be scoring. So, and I usually have on here in Sharpie score, but it's worn off. So I'm trying to remember. Okay, so we're going to fold that, and that's going to go on the inside here and right up against the edge. And I'm going to go ahead and put that down. And it's going to be a little bit less than half. So about there. And then for the inside, because I wanted to cover this up right here, I have a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 that I cut out the center so that I don't have to deal with it being cut out, where I can have it be, gosh, my words are crazy here today. So that I can use the inside, because that's a pretty big piece. And I don't think it is 5 1/4. It is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8 because I wanted a little bit more of a border on here. So, and plus I had them for another project where they were already cut that way. So I just decided, oh, let's just use that. So let's put some adhesive, and I'm using the Stamp & Seal Plus. It is very strong. So I want everything to hold together. Plus it's much easier to break off than the Stamp & Seal. I do like that too, but I tend to go for the Stamp & Seal Plus because I hate my stuff falling off or not holding. Okay. Alright, and then I had a piece of white that is cut. Whoop, I guess I didn't cut it. Let me cut that real quick, and that's going to be for this part. So hold on one second. Okay, so I cut this at 3 7/8 by 4, make sure I had that right. Oh, 3 5/8, I'm so sorry, by 4 7/8. I knew that was right. So I am going to put my Merry Christmas right kind of less than halfway like I did my one band. So I'm going to use the garden green because I like everything to coordinate, why I joined Stampin' Up, because it just makes everything so much easier. And hopefully this is straight, especially when I was scrapbooking. That's where I started, was with scrapbooking. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put this on. And I made this a weird size because I wanted to show off the silver. Because the silver is so pretty. And I definitely want people to see that. Okay. Alright, so let's see if I did that right. Pretty close. Right down almost in the middle. Alright, so now we're going to make our poinsettias. And I'm going to stamp those onto vellum because I saw this the other day and thought it was absolutely stunning. Where you stamped and embossed with white onto vellum. And this is just a scrap. I don't have a specific size for you to use. Just do whatever you would have available to fit 3 of the poinsettia leaves. Alright, so I'm going to, let's see, so you can kind of see is, so 1, I'm going to try to stamp them fast so that I can get all 3 and emboss them before they dry. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my white embossing powder. And it is dirty in here, but I'm hoping none of the messy parts will stay. So I love embossing because it is magical. See, a little bit of the dirt. There. Alright, so I am going to go ahead and do this. I will speed it up so you don't have to stand here and watch it, but you can still see it happen. Okay, so to tell if you've got it all, you just kind of move it like this and make sure that it all shines and nothing is dull, and that all looks good. So I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with my brand new magnetic plate. Now I was a little bit I didn't know which way it went because it has this that's shiny on one side and this. Now I assumed that this was the part we would put everything on because it looks like a magnet. But no, it's this side because it's a self-healing mat. So you want to make sure that that's where you put it. Now there is a little bit of a learning curve on the putting this on here. You might have to go around in a circle a couple times to get it to line up right. So I'm hoping that I won't have to do that. Oh, look at there. Nice. A lot of people mark theirs, but I didn't mark it, and then it was too late by the time I stamped it to even think about it. So far so good. And I had a piece of tape on here which I don't need anymore because I have a magnetic sheet. Okay, this one's not right, so we're going to have to do the circle thing. Nope. Nope. I mean, there's only, what, 5 tries, so you know that you don't have to go off 2 off, you know, have it take forever to figure it out. Okay, so they're all lined up, and I'm going to go ahead and put this on, and I have them facing down, which normally I have everything cutting up. Now a tip for this is to make sure that when you are, hold on, let me move these and I'll continue to talk after I move everything so that you can see what I'm talking about. So when you cut, it does leave marks on your mat. So I don't know that you can see them. It's hard to tell, but there are cutouts that you can see, so each time you do it, you want to like put it in one way, put it in the other, move them around the whole mat because this whole mat is self-healing. So you don't want to be always on the middle. You want to make sure you use the whole thing so that way it doesn't start folding up or curving. So that's my tip. Okay, so now we have these. And I need to go ahead and get my bone folder. Of course, I don't have it right here, so hold on one sec. Okay, so I want my leaves to somewhat go down. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do each one. This vellum is pretty thick, so you don't have to worry so much. I love these nails. Sorry, I'm going to talk about them just for a second. These are Color Street, and I just put one color here, and then I use this one that has palm leaves or something on it that goes on top. It's just so cute. Okay, there's my spiel. I don't sell it. I just really like it. All right. Let me get my cheat sheet so I know what I'm working on here. Okay, and then I have a piece of, well, I did need my embossing machine back. But we'll go ahead and put these 3 together first. I'm going to put just a dot of the adhesive in there, and I hope I don't seem flighty today because I kind of feel flighty. I'm hoping that doesn't come out, that it doesn't seem that way. Okay, this doesn't want to stick onto the vellum. There it goes. Didn't want to stick on the vellum. Okay, let's move that in a little bit. All right, and like that. Isn't that pretty? I just think this is stunning. Okay, I need to get out, and one thing I could have done, which is on here, is a leaf. Is the silver from here. If I would have cut it out of the middle, that would have been perfect, but I didn't think about that until just now. So let me get my cutting machine again. my piece of the silver foil, and I have my leaf here. It is 2 pieces, but I have them taped together so that I can just do it one time. But you don't have to do them both, but I wanted oh, and it doesn't need to go down anymore. I forgot about that. So you don't have to tape them together or run them at one time. And I'm not even sure if that's what I was saying before I got distracted. Sure hope you guys stick with me. All right. So here you go. So this has now a really pretty pattern in it. So I'm going to stick that on the back. And I don't know which one I like coming out. I think, whoops, I like it better like this. So I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back so I can put this on there and have it coming out. There we go. All right. And then it's going to go onto my paper right here, and it's going to go right here, but this is where we need to put on this piece that we already did. That's going to go right in the middle. Now this is a simple yet very gorgeous card. All right, now here is where why I waited. So here are my magnets. They're really little and they're very strong. I think they're earth magnets. So what I do is I have them here where they're stuck together. That's 2 of them. Look how skinny that is. That's 2. All right, so usually I use a glue dot, but I don't have them here, so I'm going to see if I can put this. Oh, it worked. Okay. So I'm going to, because I know that they're stuck together like this, I am going to put one here and then they're still stuck together. This is how I do it to make sure that I don't, for one, lose my other magnet. 2, that I don't, that I get it exactly where I want it to go. Okay, so I put adhesive on the back of this one. And I don't have my sheet on here, which is what I wanted. But, hold on. They're not going to be... I'm going to stick this where I want it. And then this is going to go on the back side like this. It's not stuck down yet. But I want it to be there so that I can kind of move this. And it moves that around too. Alright. So I think that looks about middle for the flower. Maybe over just a tad, because I haven't stuck it down yet. Alright, so now I'm going to stick it, and when I pull this up, that stays there. And this hasn't, I didn't affix this one yet, but now we know that that is where we wanted it, and so I'm going to go ahead and put tape on this. And I got some on my thing here. That's just my kind of way of getting it to go in exactly the spot I want it to. Now I'm going to put this over top. Whoop, I had tape sticking out. Can't have that. Whoop. Okay. And it's so thin you can't see that the battery is there. It's got a little bit of a bump, but not much of one. Alright, so now we're going to do this again. Put some adhesive on the back of our magnet. And I'm going to put a little bit more, I'm afraid I was doing that off, on here, just to make sure that that sticks down. Okay. So now, again, we want to make sure you just lay it down and you can feel when it picks it up and put that down. So now we have where the flap stays down. Isn't that cool? Alright, Now I'm going to come in with my stamp, and hopefully this is why I should have done it before. So I'm going to tell you, do this before. And here's my magnets that I already had out. I knew I had them out. Okay, I'm getting the white. Okay, but this time I'm going to do silver because I am embossing with silver so that I can get this to match. So white and silver. All right, I'm going to put that aside for just a second. Bring in, and I did an embossing buddy. We don't sell it anymore, and that is one thing that I really hate that they stopped selling, but you can find that at any craft store. It just makes it to where the embossing powder doesn't stick. All right, my head might get in here, but I'm hoping it's not. I just want it to be straight. When I did this the first time, it didn't all stamp, so I'm hoping that if I hold it down long enough, the whole thing will get it. Oh, that looks good so far. Okay, then I'm going to pour it on here and then shake it off. I'm worried about getting too much, so I'm hardly getting any. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to heat set that. So it says, and now this is what I always do when I use embossing powder. I make sure that the it's not like still sticky, and then I wipe it on my pants because it takes off all the embossing powder. Alright, so it says warm wishes from our home to yours, and then on the inside it says Merry Christmas. And then I am not done because we have to put on some rhinestones. And I don't have my pick-a tool here. Hold on. Okay, so I thought this made it look silver, so that's why I decided to do this. I was going to use the pearls that are so cool and that are in this family, but I waited for my order to come, and because I wanted to finish the card. I waited and I waited. The order came and they weren't in there. So I looked at my order and I never ordered them. So I don't know why I thought I did, but they are on order now. All right, so what do you think? Isn't this cute? And it is Christmassy, but still got a nice cool opening, and I think anybody would love to get this. All right, we'll come back next week. I have something really fun to show you. Thanks.